Most of the kids here have dropped out of school because parents cannot be able to support their children with school. But I told myself I can do this with the skill I had attained from the women in the village. I really have to think beyond what I'm doing right now. We mainly empower rural disadvantaged women and the youth with skills development opportunities, especially crafting and weaving skills. We mainly use natural products. Our goal is like in the next 5 years, being able to see Uganda having changed, especially the women having able to improve their livelihoods. Kids that have been able to graduate school and to live on their own, having financial freedom, like telling a story that I was able to go to school because my mother was able to earn income through Skills Centrum. Those are the kind of stories we want to hear from our communities,
For nature.
For the ocean. For people.
For animals.
Welcome to the SANUSPLANET Podcast. Lovely community. It's amazing that you are here today again to listen to this podcast. Today we have again a special guest, as you can see already, if you watch this podcast on YouTube. This person who is sitting here is a wonderful woman. She's called Elizabeth Mbambu. It's a beautiful name. I love it, but it's a bit hard to pronounce. Mbambu. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm allowed to call you Liz, you said. So welcome to all. Hey Liz, thank you for taking time to be in this podcast.
Thank you for the welcome once again, and I would love to appreciate this opportunity to be able to speak on this platform and being able to introduce myself and about the work I do in Uganda specifically and about my program. So like you heard from Maggy, my name is Elizabeth Mbambu. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Skills Centrum Rwenzori. It's a women-centered organization that was started by women and specifically to support women and the youth in Uganda. It was started in 2016, and then it was officially launched in 2019 when it officially became like an official organization to be approved by the government of Uganda. So we mainly empower rural disadvantaged women and the youth with skills development opportunities, especially crafting and weaving skills. And we mainly use natural products, like natural wasted resources that the women can be able to utilize and use to make natural products that are good for the environment, and at the same time being able to make wonderful products that can sell on the local and international market, because we help them train them these skills, and at the same time being able to find them potential markets for these products so they can be able to improve their livelihoods.
Yes, this is so amazing, and we will go into all of these details. And what I want to mention as well for the community who is listening today, the organization that we are talking about now, like the Skills Centrum Rwenzori, this organization is also seen in the voting tool in this month. So this is right now September. So if someone looks to this, watch this podcast later, then it's already the opportunity to vote for this NGO is already passed. But if you are watching it now, in September, you can also vote for this organization. And Liz, can you tell us a little bit first about you as a person? You are the co-founder of this NGO. Can you tell us a little bit what you have done before, where you come from? What is it about? You live in Uganda, and you are Ugandan. You know how the life in Uganda is. And Uganda is beautiful. I have never been there, but I see many things. I have friends there. It's beautiful. But it's also hard to live there. There are a lot of topics that are not just easy. It's not the same like here in Europe. Can you share a little bit about this? That would be great to know the background.
So I'll definitely say, like, I come from a family where I was raised by a single mother. I'm the last born out of 3 children, and we were living in the same area where we started this organization. It's a mountainous area. Like you had Skills Centrum Rwenzori, it's centered in the Rwenzori region, which is a mountainous region. So we stay on the slopes of Mount Rwenzori, and it's where I grew up. It's where I've spent most of my life. I only came to the city when I was coming for university. So I would say that life was not really easy for my mom as a single mom who was only earning income through, agriculture and not being able to do commercial farming. It was just a small scale farming where she was only growing crops on a small farm and selling them to the local markets to earn school fees, because I would say the education system here in Uganda isn't free. You have to pay money, and most of the kids here have dropped out of school because parents cannot be able to support their children with school because the poverty rates are really high. So I would also say I'm really glad that my mom was a strong woman, being able to raise us and be able to go to school. But still, with that fact, it wasn't really easy, because by the end of my final year of high school, I was on the age of almost not being able to attend university. I spent 2 years at home because my mom couldn't afford the money anymore. And I had to think outside the box. Like, what can I do? Because I'm not just going to sit here because my mom can't afford money. I have to find a way on how I can do it. So I had to start figuring out on how to find small jobs around town so I can start raising money to save up. And even though doing those small jobs, it wasn't still not enough for me. So that's how I thought of learning the crafting skills from a neighbor who was an old woman that was making the crafts around. So I had the urge, the interest to learn these skills. Like, I think I can do something from this and be able to start my own small business. Mm-hmm. So that's how I learned the skills, and it took me like a month to learn them. And that's how I got the skills. And from my little savings I had got from the small jobs I was working in town, I was able to start my own. And luckily I was able to save some little money for myself and apply for college in the city. And I was able to get the opportunity to get the admission from one of the universities in the city. And it had given me the opportunity to support me with a half scholarship, like half of my tuition. And still with that, it was still hard for me to be able to raise the 50% of the money. But I told myself I can do this with the skill I had attained from the woman in the village. So what I did, I was brave enough to drive on the bus and travel to the city, where I was living with a friend by that time, and I started my college. I started doing my crafts. I used to cut the story short, I started selling my crafts on the streets of Kampala, which is the biggest city in Uganda. And that's how I was raising my school fees, my tuition. So
how old have you been there? What was your age?
By that time, I was 20. I was 20 years old, and that was 2016 when I started the university, after 2 years of staying at home without joining the university. So that's how I started selling my crafts, and luckily God helped me, and I got the opportunity of doing my internship in one of missionary organizations in Uganda, where I was able to link up with more people and foreigners who were coming to this organization. And I used to tell them my story about what I'm doing, especially my crafting, and like if they can be able to support me, and they had interest. They realized like this is something we can be able to support this lady. And that's how I had to get more connection and get more market for my products. And that's how I had to even engage in my elder sister. Like we had to start expand the supply, because we realized like after a few months, these missionaries were from the US. and they were supporting an orphanage here in Uganda. And they found it also as an opportunity for them to be able to raise funds for the orphanage in Uganda by buying products from me. You understand? Mm-hmm. So they were like, oh, Liz, we're going to do this with you, but you have to make sure that you can be able to supply us more products than what you are doing. Are you able to? And that's how I got that's how I had to think wider. Like, I really have to think beyond than what I'm doing right now, whereby I have to find more women so we can be able to widen up the market. Mm-hmm. So it took me the decision of being able to go back to my village and teach more women on how we can make good quality products that we can ship to the US. So, and over time, I was still schooling at the same time, and I was same time doing the business. So it was quite not easy, but I still had to manage it, and we did it. And we've been doing this business and also empowering the women for over 5 years now, because we realized that now, like, people are getting more interest in our products, and that's how we also got the idea of Skills Centrum Limited, because we realized that more women in the village were having more interest in learning the skills, and also realizing that the women we were working with were benefiting from this opportunity. You understand? And the fact that we're using natural fiber materials, which is, for example, the banana fiber, which is largely wasted in the Ugandan farms, because almost every household in Uganda in rural areas have a small banana fiber plantation. But after cutting the banana trunk, it is wasted. But then people have realized that they can make beautiful products out of these materials and be able to make money from them. So we've been able to create awareness to the people that they cannot waste these materials. They can make products from them, and, train more women, though not being able to train everybody because we have challenges with space of where to train them. But that's how I came up with the Skills Centrum Limited, from my story, like how I went to the college, how I started selling my products on the street, how I linked up with the missionaries, how they got interested in the products and wanting us to supply more. And it took me the decision to go back to the village and train more women. And that's how we came up with Skills Centrum Limited.
I love it. I love the whole story of it. I mean, in the end, you turned around something that was not easy for you into something that helps so many others as well, to create a livelihood, to create change. And especially on top, even, you help people to use material that normally is wasted. So to make money from it. I love it. It's amazing. I'm really proud of you. You can be proud of you. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would also love to say that people have started believing in such kind of skills, because here I would say specifically where I come from, these skills were normally seen as for people who have failures in life, maybe you didn't go to school and then you just maybe I should just learn how to make these crafting skills to earn some little income. But then with my story, telling somebody that I was able to push myself through college with these crafting skills, and till now I'm still surviving with the same skills. I never went on the streets searching for a job. I felt like after my college, I can continue with this organization, with my business, and still survive. So I changed the narrative from the people these skills are just for the undergraduates, people who never went to school. Now they realize you can become a better person with these crafting skills, and empowering other girls out there that you can be able to make money and survive with a small talent, with a talent seen by people as something small, but you can be able to build it up and become a better person,
Yeah, and it's awesome. And I have seen also on your web page. I checked it all also a little bit out, and because you are also in the voting tool this month, and I'm so happy about that. I have
Thank you.
seen there was written also on your webpage that you also you work on the challenges of child marriage, young motherhood, and poverty. What you explained us right now is in the end including all of these topics. It's helping even young mothers to create an own income on the side, on top, or even and then later you can tell us a little bit about the child marriage thing as well. That's a topic that is really big. We can talk about that after, but you tackle all of these topics in one, and that's really beautiful to see.
Okay, like I said, that Skills Centrum targets the disadvantaged rural women and the youth. So the disadvantaged rural women and the youth are mainly here, I would say mainly here in Uganda, are the young mothers. The girls have not been able to access education, like go beyond primary level, not even high school. So they end up getting early marriages or early pregnancies at a young age and being just dumped there by their parents. And we also help the single mothers, just like my own mom, who was facing tough times being able to raise us. So we get a hand on these women, being able to train them these skills, the young mothers, school dropout girls, so they are the people that we target, so they can learn these skills and then be able to sell their products, so they can earn the money that can improve their livelihoods. So we don't just train everybody that is interested. We also train them, but we would have to charge them a certain amount of money because they are not disadvantaged. So if maybe like an organization approaches us that they want us to train maybe women or maybe a school, so we have to make an agreement of how much they have to pay. So we get some of our women that we've already trained by our organization, and then they get hired to train under the other organization and they get paid. You understand? But the women that we support specifically are the rural disadvantaged women, and that's how it comes in: the young mothers, the school dropouts, the single mothers, and all those. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also like this, with this focus, you can spread the idea all over Uganda and maybe even beyond. And like you said before, because you're helping people to understand how it works, to train them, but then they can also pass these skills on. And that is really important. And it's not just staying here and not just focusing on a few people, but all of them can share the skills with many, many others. This is awesome. And
actually, for now, our target is to train people around the whole country. But like the fact that we don't have the ability right now to expand the opportunities countrywide, that's why for now our focus is still on the Rwenzori region, which is the mountainous region, because our organization is a national organization. Like, it is allowed to work throughout the country, but our services for now are still focused on the Rwenzori region because we still have limited access to the ability to be able to serve the whole country is not really enough for us. But with this support, with the SANUSPLANET and the SANUS Life, I believe that this is going to be able to broaden our opportunities as we are targeting on constructing our first training center, because the training center we have right now is just a temporary and small place, and we usually organize trainings in temporary places, like going to a certain location and we gather there for like a few weeks and offer training there. So we are looking on having a permanent location where we can be able to train over 50 women in just one semester, because for now we only take small semesters for like 5 women, 6 women, 7 women where we work from. But we know that there are so many women that are interested in these opportunities, So that's why we've trained less over the years we've carried out, because we don't have enough space. But we believe that with the opportunity, if we are able to have enough space where we can acquire a small piece of land and construct a training center and have our permanent offices and everything, we are able to attract more people and more women to to learn these skills and also like increase our production. That's the major target right now.
That sounds amazing. And as you have talked
Yeah.
already about for example, you use banana, how do you call it? Banana phasers, banana
It's the
leaves,
dry banana. It's the dry banana fiber from the
fiber.
banana. Yeah.
Awesome. And you make, like, I have seen you do waving, plastic mosaic making, and tailoring and crocheting. So what is the plastic mosaic making? What are you doing there? How do you create that? I think on your homepage or on your Instagram page, people can see some pictures and it's really beautiful. What is the plastic mosaic about, or how does that work?
Actually, the plastic mosaic art, we've come up with lots of creatives, but sometimes we're not really competent on it, but we have lots of creatives. The plastic mosaic art is mosaic made of plastic waste. We get those the plastic bottles, and then they are cut into small tiny pieces, and then we get a board, a wooden board, and then we apply glue, and that's how we are able to create a piece of art using the plastic materials as a way to recycle the plastic. But we're not really much into it because our focus is using the natural materials that are wasted. Though we're also using the plastic to make products from them, but our focus is using the natural fiber materials because people are more into the natural products. They want to use things that are more like healthier for their lives, for their community, something that can be able to be recycled or decay after a long time. So that's why we're more into the natural fiber products here.
That's amazing. And I think that it's always good to try out different things and to find out, okay, does it make more sense maybe to go that direction or that? What do we prefer? And then you find out, but you have to try out the different things first. So that's really amazing, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you think, because you said before that your product
we've also tried plastic sandals, by the way. We've ever made sandals from the plastic. We make the top thing using the plastic. Though the bottom is rubber and all that, but the top thing is from plastic. We've tried that before, but the market and the demand wasn't really as high as the other products, so we had to quite drop that out. But we have that idea, and it's a very own creative, and we have it in hand. But like you said, we're always supposed to try other different creatives, So we are always open to different creatives. But I also wanted to tell you a hint of how we've also made sandals using plastic. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really, really cool. And you said before that your products you have also sent and shipped already to the US. Did you send it also to Europe? And is there a possibility that one day we can even maybe see these products on the SANUSLIFE marketplace? That would be, of course, really amazing for our community. And I'm pretty sure that, and I'm convinced, I have seen your products. They are so beautiful. So please, everybody who's listening, check out the website. There's so many beautiful things there. You make so beautiful things out of it. I love it. I love these things. I'm not a big buyer. I don't shop a lot. But if I shop, then I shop these kind of things. That's because it's even for a higher purpose. Do you see the possibility that our people can also buy that one day on the SANUSLIFE marketplace? Are you thinking about that option?
We're definitely looking onto that in the start of next year. And I would love to tell you that we've not just shipped these products in the US. We normally ship in Canada. We also ship in Germany sometimes, Japan, and sometimes in Australia. So right now, our focus, yes, is into the international market. Because when we're targeting the international market, the payment is quite fair, which favors the women that make these products, because we are aiming to support them to have a fair income. And like when we sell them locally here, the demand, like people try to pay like less money for the products, they devalue the products. They're like, oh, this is just natural fiber, so like I can pay for just $1, $2, $3, and they don't care about the story behind it. But when we target the international market and the story behind it, they try to give a fair price for the products, which favors the women that we are targeting so they can improve their livelihoods. And yes, we of course, like you said, with the SANUS market, it's one of our target platforms at the moment. But like I said, in the start of next year, we are looking forward to it. And just don't worry, because you're going to soon see these products in Austria, Germany, and some parts around, because I'll soon be reuniting with my husband before the end of this year, and I'm looking forward to bring more of these products to Austria, and so I can be able to supply to more people, and they can know more about me, about my story, about my project, and see the products that we do, and they know that they are buying this product for a cause, not just business, but they are supporting rural women in Uganda.
That's amazing. And your husband is from Austria. So like he's also with Sanus Life. That's how you got to know the whole project, I can imagine. And that's amazing. One day we might have a Sanus Life presentation somewhere live where you can be there on stage and explain your story, talk about your story, and bring your product. And I'm pretty sure, because it's so beautiful. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I know, as beautiful as these products are, they will be gone very fast. So I think that we have a beautiful community that wants to support exactly this cause. That's why I love it so much. So thank you so much for everything you do. How many people do work with you together in this organization? How many are you? And how many did you already train? How many people do you have? A bit of a number?
Yes, like currently we are working with over 50 women directly through our program. Like I would say like 30% works from our workspace, because it's a small workspace. We are not able to accommodate all of them. So most of the women work in their homesteads, because most of these materials can be found from their homes. Like I said, we use natural fiber products. So they just get them from their small gardens, and they just create the products. Though we also provide them with other materials like the hooks, the needles, the dye, to dye some products, and other supplies that can help them. And then we find a day on how we can gather all the products together, but we're directly working with over 50 women, of which over 35 of them work in their homesteads. And then I would say like 20 work from our workspace, and mainly most of them are into weaving, and others are training the other girls, like the newcomers that are interested to learn. But like I said, there are usually not many, like just 3 or 4 or 5 because of the space. So and like 2 or 3 are into the administrative work, like supervision, secretary work. Like right now, I'm not there right now. I'm just in the city right now on other work, on other duties. So they are right there in Kasese district, and they're doing the work, and everything is moving forward, So I would say, as an organization entirely, we've trained over 2,000 women directly and indirectly. Like directly, we've trained over 1,000 women through our organization, and we've trained over 2,000 women through partnerships with other small local organizations.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. And that makes me really also makes me wonder the next question about what is, and that might be a harder one to explain maybe, or to answer, but
No.
you are thinking out of the box, and you have already reached so much. What would be your vision if you could put it in words? What would be your vision? How you want to see your project and your NGO to be in, let's say, in about 5 years? What would you like to reach? That's a hard one, maybe, huh? But maybe try to.
No, it's not. Of course, our goal is like in the next 5 years, being able to see Uganda having changed, especially the women having able to improve their livelihoods, which is our main goal, to improve their livelihoods, seeing youth going back to school, the kids being able to attend school because they are getting support from their mothers who are able to earn income. Like, we want to see change in people's standards of living because we are experiencing high rates of poverty, especially in the rural areas of Uganda. And these people are not receiving the social services from the government, enough social services, because of the location. They are mountainous areas. So that's why we target those areas. And we want to improve people living in those areas so they don't feel like they are left out, you know? Especially with the education system, like children are not accessing good education or not getting education because parents cannot be able to afford the school fees. But we believe in the next 5 years, with this opportunity of improving people's standards of living, we are able to improve their lives, and mothers can be able to take their children to school and see like graduates and the Skills Centrum, you know, kids that have been able to graduate school and be able to live on their own financially freely, having financial freedom, you know, and having like telling a story that I was able to go to school because my mother was under Skills Centrum. She was able to earn income through Skills Centrum. Those are the kind of stories we want to hear from our communities, you know.
And I can imagine that you have already a lot of stories, and every woman that you're training and helping has their own story. So I can imagine a lot are a bit similar, but there will be some really hard stories also, but some beautiful outcomes. And I'm so happy about this. So I want to thank you from deep in my heart. And I want to ask you kind of maybe the last question for today for the podcast. We maybe can make another following podcast in about 1-2 years or so we can see how is it moving on, because I'm pretty sure that we can connect and support in the long term later as well, not just through the voting now. But maybe the last question: what would you like? What would you like to share with our community? What would you like to send as your message to the people who are connected to SANUSPLANET and to Sanus Life? What would be your message to the community?
I would say that I would tell people that Sanus Life is a great platform supporting the local people, like people that are like, I would say like somebody who is from the grassroots level. It's what the Sanus Life is targeting, and they should continue supporting this platform, this app, and also looking forward to supporting businesses, organizations that are being able to expose, to showcase what they're doing through Sanus, and they should continue supporting, and they should also check out Skills Centrum on Sanus, see more, and also check our website, Skills Centrum Rwenzori, if they want to see more of what we make and also support our products, because you should know that when you're buying a product from Skills Centrum, you're not supporting just an organization, you're supporting a woman in the village. So I would say that Sanus is really a great opportunity for somebody who is from the grassroots level, like not for the rich, but everybody to be able to have that financial freedom in the world, you know. So I would tell people that should be able to share this app and share this message to other people so we can benefit all together, you know, and grow as one person. And you should, just continue supporting.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you, girl, for everything you do. I love what you do. I love what you stand for. And I wish you the best of luck for everything you do, also for the voting now in September. And everybody who's listening to this podcast, check this organization out. And stay tuned for more updates, because I can imagine there is a lot going on and a lot of new things coming and new ideas and new products. And I'm happy to one day have one of your products here in my home.
Also come and visit us here in Uganda.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I will one day visit you, that's for sure. So thank you for your time, and thank you for the beautiful community, for everyone who was listening today. I hope that this was also, again, really insightful and giving you a lot of information about what the organizations are about that we support and who they are, who the beautiful people are behind these organizations. So yeah, helping you to understand why we do what we do. That's the reason. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.